Alright, I want to go over the various pieces of the Foresight Facts web order piece. We're running Chrome 18.0 and we're running it inside of the Apple OS 10.68, and initially when the screen pops up it does not initialize the order type. Now I'll go through this in the order of the specification and I'll add things as we go. The order type only needs to be new order. We will not need upgrade from V5, V6, or V7 here. You can remove these from the drop down. And additionally, you want to change the multi-tech modems to add items, modems 5 through 10 modems. So you're going to have a total of 11 options, none, and then one modem all the way through 10 modems. So I'll go ahead and set up a default setting that we'd like to see whenever the page appears, and it would be something like this, where we'd also have the default web client users always set to the number of users when and only when the update and support plan is checked. If the update and support plan is not checked, then the web client users would be a chargeable item, but when the update and support plan is checked, then these are free, and this number here should never exceed this number. Now down here in the bottom where you got a total price, we'd like to see the dollar amount right aligned. So we prefer to have a table here where you have a left side of the table be a description and the right side of the table be a right aligned numerical value. In this case, using the currency in the US, it would be US dollars right aligned, and the text would be left aligned. Back to the logic here, if I change the users here to 10 users and the update and support plan is checked, then automatically the logic should change this to 10. We don't want to force the user to do that because we're giving away this feature for free whenever this update and support plan is checked, and it's going to equal the same number of users that are already selected up here. Now this is fine, other than you need to put it into a table, and then down at the bottom the add to cart, I think this will be fine, although ideally it would say, you know, order now. We don't see people returning to this page very often because the pricing is configurable. They're typically going to select what they want and they're going to order it and they'll be on their way. But I'll go ahead and click on the add to cart button, and now it jumps me over to the next page. What I have noticed is a session, even after it's ended and I leave the browser, I come back to it, it seems to remember what was in the shopping cart prior to that. So I'm going to go ahead and clear these out, and I'm going to return back to the first page. Notice here also you've got options like pay, but you don't want to have the pay option enabled if they don't have anything selected. So I'm going to go back and start over. And you notice from the previous video, whenever we go back to the sample page, we always default to null values. So I'm going to go ahead and reselect everything. And remember, when you select this and this has been checked, this should automatically populate to equal the number of users, but it would never be more than the number of users. It would be equal to it. So I'll go ahead and I'll select one modem, and now you know I've cleared out the shopping cart, and now I've returned to the starting point, and I've populated configurable license for $7.97, and I'm going to go ahead and add to the cart, and that's behaving properly. If I decide to change this and go back, I like the way that's set up, but you see what happens when I go back. It does revert to the null values. I'm going to go ahead this time and add the Windows, add the support plan, add one modem, and I'm going to change this to 5 users, and I can see now that I've got final cost of $904, and I'm going to click on add to cart. Right now they believe they're modifying. They believe they went back to page 1 to modify, when in fact they went back to add a new item to the cart. And that's not typically what you're going to want. So I thought I was modifying this when in fact I changed it. And had I even not changed it and come back here, it would have shown 2 of these items showing. For example, if I go ahead and come back and it resets it, now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to set it to one line 15 user. I'm going to go ahead and set that up. And now you can see I've got a different item in the cart. I'm going to add to the cart. You can see now it's added a third item. I mean, this is to delete and this is to modify. If you want to add additional items, you might want to put a button here that says add new. But if you click on one that already exists, the presumption is you're going to change this item with its replacement. When you go into the page 1 and you reselect items, it's going to replace what you have here. So that's the part you probably want to change, is you probably want to have an add a new item, add an additional item. And this is obvious that I'm going to edit what I have, but in fact it's not editing, it is adding. So now that I've done that, I want to click on pay. I like the page you've developed here. I guess my question is there a way to put it on one page? Is there a way to take the width you have here, tighten it up where you have maybe less room and you move it over, and so you can move this up so it'll fit on one page? This is actually pretty nice. Just a suggestion. I click on submit and it now tells me what to do. I like the way you have this set up as well. So I'm going to return back to the cart, and what it does is it drops me back to page 1 now. So I'm going to try, okay, now I go back to here. You want to make sure that the next and the back buttons go where the user was previously at, and you want to have that behavior checked on. If I go check out with PayPal right now, it does carry the items over properly, and here I would go in and I would complete the order. I've not tested this, so maybe tomorrow we can provide more feedback on the actual testing. That's it for now. It looks like you made a lot of progress. Just need to have more consistency between page 2, what we're looking at here, and then page 1. And then in addition to page 1, make sure that you carefully read the step 1 in the specifications and try to implement the coupon codes as well. Coupon codes table is in place. Go ahead and add Dr. Fax, the coupon code, but that would be something that we want to add. You want to test for that as well. And this is outlined in the notes here between step 1 and step 2. But this is you've done a nice job on the billing. We'll have to work on the order confirmation and the submittal, which is actually requires the code that we have in place and the licensing routine that's in C. So there's more parts to this, but the big thing is once you get the interaction between page 1 and page 2 in place, then we should be good to go. Talk to you soon.